Wow. Remember that murder a few years ago when that 20-year-old Carmen Schimpf was found dead by Warren Lake? Everyone thought it was her boyfriend, Tad Sinclair, because he was the last one with her, but they had no evidence.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, they just charged Tad's brother Dino. They found a small piece of tissue under her fingernail that matched his DNA.
What took so long?
Apparently, there was no DNA in the system. And then one of the family members from the Sinclair family signed up on that Ancestry website, and the police were able to do a DNA marker and trace it back to the family.
Good.
Speaking of DNA, do you know Cynthia's daughter Michelle is having her 4 boyfriends tested for DNA to see who the father of her child is?
What the hell? What are their names? Eeny, meeny, miny, and mo?
I know it's crazy, but Debbie once told me she read that a woman, she had twins, and each twin had a different father. What'd they do before DNA?
Good point. Remember way back when? All those accusations of baby swapping in hospitals and those sensationalized trials of famous stars accused of being the daddy? Then DNA saved the day.
Dino Sinclair?
Yes, ma'am. Are you Miss Jacobs?
Yes, Lauren Jacobs. So to follow up on our conversation.
I didn't do it. I did not kill Carmen.
Okay, first things first. Now I just need you to listen. The police report concludes your brother, Tad, could not have murdered his wife because, as you know, at the time he was staying at a hotel out of state. There are eyewitnesses and video footage that confirm this on the night she disappeared, which according to the autopsy was not the night she was killed. Excuse me, sir. May I ask what happened to your leg? A car accident? Was someone negligent?
Oh, no, I just looked at my house.
Oh, well, if you change your mind, give me a call. Okay, now where were we? Oh yeah, the police report concludes your brother could not have murdered his wife, Carmen. She called 911 and could only mutter D into the phone before it sounds like her mouth was covered. She screams and the phone went dead. Obviously, the fact that she managed to get out the D sound wasn't enough to indict you at first, because she could have been saying delivery boy or Denise or whoever, but it certainly made you a suspect. But unfortunately for you, when the lead investigator was replaced, the new one went back to the coroner to re-examine the body, and they found that DNA under her fingernail. And they're convinced without a doubt it belongs to you after tying it to your family DNA tree. The district attorney will likely conclude the victim was trying to scream DNA as her last words, knowing Carmen had dug her nails into the killer's arm.
Impossible. I told you 100 times I never met my brother's girlfriend. Just once.
Wait, you met her? Where? When? This could be the breakthrough we need. Perhaps we can convince the jury she playfully scratched you.
Well, actually, it was on a Zoom call.
Well, if it was at Zumba, I could help. If it was a Zoom call, I'm afraid your chances are slim.
Damn it. This can't be happening. I want to take the stand.
Dino, your word against science will not work to your advantage. I am suggesting you take a plea deal. In 15 years, you could be a free man. 10 if you behave in prison. You are young. If you don't do this, you are looking at 25 years before even paroled.
Couldn't she have gripped a roller coaster handle at some amusement park and dug her nails into rubber grips just a minute after I got off it?
I'm afraid the district attorney will see that as smoke and mirrors. Please, Dino, you need to clear your head. Take some time and think about what I have recommended. I'm sorry.
Oh, nothing's the way it should be, but it's so far leaving so late in love. Check your bags and pick your favorite layer to throw on. Oh, this is your paragon. The weeks you claim you'll eat again, and you'll call your friends, maybe get a highlight come New Year's Eve. It's midnights and sore throats, walking through the only store that's open. Songs never sink in to the stereo. Just make your decision, make it a fast one, 'cause I'm gonna burn out any day. Everyone's gone, what can I say? Midnights and sore throats, walking through the only store that's open. Songs never sink in to the stereo. Just make your decision, make it a fast one, 'cause I'm gonna burn out any day. Everyone's gone, what can I say?
Said, and she said, I can't believe this is happening. Lincoln, are you listening to me?
Yeah. Seriously? I'm sitting right here.
Happy birthday.
Congrats on the
Yeah,
promotion.
we're not paying attention.
Buy you a drink, mate?
Hey Joe, can I get a highball?
Hi, Paul. You the upscale one. Joe, you even know how to make one of those?
My sleep.
See, lady, this here is a shot and beer bar.
Upscale. Sounds like I should be buying you a drink. Joe, can you make that too?
Hey, I'll take it.
Just like you took Barbara Cater's belongings. I've seen you on the news.
Listen, honey. These are just allegations. She's going after everybody Bobby knew to try to recoup her losses. Unlike you, who is kind and generous and willing to buy me a drink.
There you go.
Cheers. So, can I offer to take you home?
No thanks.
Come on, lady. You sit here all night flirting with me, and now you're playing hard to get? Yep. What? How the hell did you get in the ditch? Alright, where are you? Alright. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Unfortunately, I've got to go help a friend because I'm a nice guy. Now, I hope to see you again soon. Maybe same time tomorrow?
We'll see.
So maybe, baby?
We'll see.
Alright.
Detective? I've got it. Now we'll see if it matches the DNA of hooded thief that was on Barb's premises.
Okay, girls, real quick. The DNA lab results for Cynthia's daughter, Michelle, were going to be coming in the mail today. They will finally know who the father is of her child. Hopefully she'll know and spill the beans.
Who does Cynthia think the father of the child is?
She hopes it isn't Todd because she can't stand him.
Has Michelle hinted who she hopes it is? Hey everybody! How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Well, what's new? Michelle and I just found out who Jesse's father is.
Oh, well, do tell.
It's Ray.
Bingo bongo, I knew it. Is he the rich guy?
Well, financially, he's the best of the bunch. Michelle has to break the news to him today. You know, Michelle's been struggling for 2 years, working 2 jobs, just trying to get enough money to pay for these lawyers, for these DNA test results. You know, Michelle, she's been wanting a baby for so long. She just never really wanted to be attached to any man, just his wallet.
Oh, Cynthia, your daughter is so bad.
Speaking of bad, I gotta go because she's gotta break the news to him today. And I want to leave. I want to be a fly on the wall to listen. So sorry, ladies, but I gotta go. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh boy. Hello?
It's me, Michelle. Jessie wants to say hi to her daddy.
Are you serious? I told you 100 times it wasn't me. That's why I agreed to take the test.
Well, surprise, surprise. I expect the first support check in the mail by next week.
Are you insane? I'm gonna fight this. This will be appealed.
And waste money on court fees? You're the father. The DNA says it. The judge says so. Oh, and by the way, Jessie wants to go to Harvard. Don't you, little girl? Toodles, Ray.
Better start saving.
Hey, Chief.
What's hot?
Well, a couple of juicy cases down at the courts today.
Okay, do your stuff. Let's try and wrap these stories up within a few days to beat the competition.
Yeah, don't worry. When these verdicts come in, there's racing stripes down these hands when I file a story.
Yeah, just make sure your reporter gets the quotes correct and the facts right.
Facts? Who cares about them anymore?
Someone once told me that it's only rain. It'll pass and then you'll come out again, and never knowing quite when. Just you wait. Soon you'll feel the warmth on your skin. Just come on, baby. Just have to wait, but I can't promise that it won't stop pouring. So that means you're gonna learn how to dance in the rain. Dance in the rain. Just come.
Nadia?
Hi, I'm Nadia.
Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, I'll have nature's finest Ethiopian coffee with the beans delicately ground on a 3.5 setting as they swirl about the Hamilton Beach appliance. 2 teaspoons of organic 2% milk and a wee spoon of pure cane sugar, please. Thank you in advance.
Okay, no problem.
So, welcome aboard. You ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, great. I'm going to try to assign you some stories that align with your interests. Crime stories, but with a scientific slant to them.
Okay,
I
great.
figure with this angle, you want to stick around as our permanent health and sciences reporter.
Okay, great.
And since you're a woman of science, I have the perfect topics for you. Murder, theft, and a paternity suit.
Okay, I guess.
I was recently down at the courthouse, where the fate of 3 people was essentially determined by one thing: DNA. These are the people I want you to talk to. See if you can get them to open up about how they feel. The lawyers insist their innocence, despite the scientific evidence.
Do I have to go to prison to talk to them?
One is in prison, the other is on house arrest, and the third is just a paternity case, where the guy just found out he was the father of the child, although he insists he is not. I don't care what order you talk to them, but these are the 3 stories.
How much time do I have to write these stories?
Nadia, there are a lot of people interested in this job. The clock is ticking. 3 stories. 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. Go. Here's the name of the people I'd like you to talk to. Call me if you have any questions.
Wow, okay.
Is there a problem?
It's just that my high school reunion is tonight, but I don't have to go.
That's okay. You go to your party tonight and get started first thing tomorrow morning, but don't drink too much.
Actually, I bring my own quinine water.
Okay. Have a good night.
Hello? Oh, hi, Aunt Gertrude. Actually, I decided not to go to the reunion after all. I figured everyone would just end up getting super drunk anyway, so I decided to stay home with a good book and my quinine water. Did you know quinine water is actually very good at treating malaria? No, I don't have it, but I just enjoy the taste. I'm starting a new job tomorrow where I get to put my science knowledge to good use. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. Okay, bye. Hello, Ray. My name is Nadia Panza, and I write for the Moseyville Times.
What? Wait a minute.
I'd like to offer you an opportunity to tell your side of the story regarding the court's decision that you are the father of baby Jesse.
My side. You think I can convince the community after being unable to convince the courts?
Well, how much time was given to you to defend yourself?
None. They read a lab report. That was it.
So people don't know your side.
Alright, fair enough.
So why are you innocent?
Where to begin, Nadia? I never touched her. We were at a party, making out. On our way home, she passed out. I wasn't going to take advantage of her. Dragged her into her house, put her in bed. Didn't change her clothes or anything. Put on her AC, covered her up, because all she'd had was a loose top and shorts. A few weeks later, I learned the top wasn't the only thing that was loose. All the guys at the bar were talking about this chick who just moved into the neighborhood. As the days went by, more and more guys were talking about how they hooked up with her. Unbelievable. I'm the nice guy, and now I'm daddy. Her family has to own the lab or something. Give me a lie detector test.
Well, technically a lie detector doesn't hold up in court.
So what do I do? Which I was back in the 60s. No paternity test. I have a better shot at getting the truth out.
Well, again, this is your side only. I have to also include the facts as we know them.
The facts? I gave you the facts. I appreciate you letting me vent. You do your story, but just do me a favor. Change my name. In case someday, my kid happens to see this.
Your kid?
As far as the money goes, yeah. Some guy's off the hook. He should have been paying for her for at least 18 years.
And what would you want to tell Michelle?
You screwed me. Never screwed you.
Jeepers. Jake Tarantino?
That's correct, baby.
You're being recorded. The name is Nadia. As we discussed, and with approval from your lawyer, I'd like to get your comments regarding your relationship with Bobby Fader and his wife Barbara.
Ex-wife. And you call yourself a reporter?
I'm sorry. I did that on purpose to see if you were paying attention, since you appear to be staring at me.
I can do 2 things at once.
So you're here because you were found guilty by a jury of your peers for breaking and entering Barbara's house and stealing many valuable items.
First of all, I told Bobby 3 years ago, when he married her, she was a woman of ill repute.
That's not a very nice word. And you were Bobby's best man?
Well, okay, so let me backtrack. When I first met her, she was okay. We all used to hang out together, but then, shortly after they got married, everything changed and he wasn't able to go anywhere. She was a ball and chain. And I was happy for them. But then Bobby told me how she took him to the cleaners. She did nothing but sit by their pool and painted her nails, and she was the type that if you splashed water on her and get her hair wet, she would scream like the dickens.
So you frequented the house?
Nah, that was the one and only time. You can probably figure out why. We started hanging out other places.
Why did you stop hanging out?
She didn't like me. She didn't like me and a few of Bobby's other friends. Bobby did well for himself. Much better than we did. She always just gave us smug looks whenever he would come around. She hated me the most because I teased her the most. I once asked her if she put her makeup on with a trowel. See, even you gotta admit that's kind of funny. Hey, while you're laughing, give this candle a smell. They say every time you light it, a panther is born. Nice, huh?
Yeah, it's nice. If you were convicted on DNA, could it have possibly been you were in the house prior to the day the theft occurred?
No, you sound like a lawyer. I tried to make the same excuse, but they have an outside bath that we all had to use that day, so I never even got into the house.
But the police report states your DNA was found and it matched some sweat on the floor by a 100-pound safe that was taken.
No. I was framed. They planted my DNA at the scene. Of course, that top-of-the-line security camera that they have there, they say the line was cut, so there's no evidence of who went in the house and who came out. You think I know how to cut wires? Look at this. I'm building a holistic museum for all of the world to enjoy. Did you know the common crystal harnesses more power than 1,000 atomic bombs? I knew from the moment that I heard about that theft that she would try to accuse me. Last thing I heard, they had the district attorney frame me.
How?
So I'm in a bar, and this chick comes up, plays me. The whole night I'm buying her drink after drink, only to find out after the fact, she took my glass back and had it run for the DNA.
I understand that was the only way the police could obtain it because you refused to cooperate.
Barbara's dad's friend is the friggin' district attorney. Like I said from day one, they were out to get me. So, now I have a year to repay her $30,000, and I'm on house arrest for 3 years. And I've got this ankle bracelet to prove it. I've been totally clean my whole life, and that's the only thing that kept me out of jail. I got enough bling. This cheap bracelet is cramping my style.
So where were you the night of the theft?
Hey, hot stuff. Am I on trial again? I thought I got to tell my side this time.
One last question.
Go ahead.
If you say your DNA was planted at the scene after they obtained your drinking glass at the bar,
That's right.
how do you explain the fact that the DNA at the scene was collected and given to an independent laboratory weeks before you were in that bar with the woman who took your glass?
I don't know. I don't know how they did it. But now I'm going to have to pay off the money I'm going to have to raise the money to pay off my fine.
Well, thank you for your time, Jake. I'll see myself out.
Lead me out of this misery, 'cause I'm feeding all these leeches latch on my skin. January is gone, and this year keeps rolling along, as if everyone I've ever known hasn't moved on. Hit the road if you're lucky, I don't blame you. pressure, my rate does decrease. 'Cause I'm stuck here, stuck here, stuck here.
Let me just get this started. Dino Sinclair,
That is correct.
thank you for agreeing to meet. Since we only have a few minutes, tell me what you want people to know.
The murder was a tragedy. My brother and I loved each other. When my brother was getting serious with Carmen, he wanted me to at least see her on the computer and talk to her. He liked to tease me, and he knew I had a short fuse. So sometimes in public, I would take out my anger by ramming a car, getting into fights, smashing windows. It's all documented. I'm sure you know that.
So you have a tendency to be violent and your DNA was found.
This is how people paint a picture of me.
But there's one thing you didn't address in the initial court hearings, looking back at these transcripts.
What is that?
Your DNA was found on her dead body.
I know that, but I do realize if the same murder was committed a few decades ago, would I have been arrested, let alone charged with murder? Been advised to cop a plea and thrown in a cell for 10 years?
DNA has solved many crimes.
Has it or has it not?
How so?
Okay. Time is up.
So there was more than one of you at the lake?
Carmen's murderer is still out there.
Was it you and your brother? You and someone else?
The murderer is still out there.
Well, thank you, Professor Smith, and sorry to bother you.
Not a bother at all, young lady. Regarding your email, it's good to ask questions, but I hope I have quelled any doubts you might have with my responses. DNA analysis is proven, evidence-based science.
Thank you, Doctor, but I'm afraid we'll have to agree to disagree. But thank you for your time. Can I speak to Detective Dolly? Can I speak to Detective Kelly? Hi, Mr. Lester. This is Nadia. I need an extension on these stories. They're much more complicated than I imagined.
What do you mean complicated?
I've been working non-stop. I interviewed all three as you requested, and I also interviewed the detectives working the cases, and...
Whoa, you did what? Nadia, this is simply a feature story. We aren't here to second-guess law enforcement. Leave that to me.
I understand that, sir. I'm merely second-guessing DNA as an exact science.
Well, that's a new one. Perhaps to ease your mind, you can simply talk to a science professor.
I already reached out to one. Thanks so much, Mr. Lester.
What's up, Barry?
It's a hot one out there today. So you know that intern, Nadia? She is such a science nerd. She's starting to second-guess DNA as crucial evidence in a crime. Can you believe it?
Barry, she is young and impressionable. What did you tell her to do?
Talk to a scientist. Any scientist.
Gotta love her creativity. Go easy on her when she gets back a bit distraught and when she learns the cold-hearted truth.
When science laws reign for so long, just like an old favorite song, it's hard to persuade the masses. You can't relate to their classes. They say DNA, I say DNA. They say biochem, no need to test again. Some people can't stop hoping the jail cells won't reopen. No mistakes in any lab. They believe that all are bad. So what am I to do? Firmly believe my truth. Will the hate subside, or will this long ride leave me destitute? They say DNA,
posting all kinds of things on social media about you saying that DNA is not okay when it comes to evidence in the courtroom.
Hi, Aunt Gertrude. How bad are they?
Let me read them. Someone said this girl needs help if she thinks DNA is DOA. Someone else says, does this chick ask for a periodic table for two when she goes out on a date? She has no clue. Another says, you are in all kinds of trouble if you can't face DNA reality. Did you really say all this?
No. Well, only to my boss, as a hypothesis. And not to be confused with my hypotenuse, which I was telling you about earlier. This guy I work with, Stanley, is a social media degenerate who has no idea what I'm doing. I can't believe the Moseyville Times hired him, yet he still runs his own gossip page. He must have overheard me talking to my boss. In fact, I know he did, because I found his water bottle outside the office window.
Good grief. Is there anything I can post to try to defend you?
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. You know your science. You'll find a solution. Get it? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bye.
Nadia, this is Barry Lester. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to terminate your internship. The blowback about you on our website is giving our newspaper some real credibility issues. I'm sorry, Nadia. I wish you well. Take care of yourself.
Dr. Igor Kraskowiak? Dr. K, thank you so much for returning my email.
So we discussed in writing that people now think you believe DNA is not real. But you, of course, say that it is not what you meant. You do believe, however, it can be an exact science.
Yes, so why did you insist on meeting me?
I think you are right.
What?
In the nucleus of each cell, the DNA molecule is packaged into thread-like structures called chromosomes. It is the hereditary material in humans. We humans are 99.9% the same. And yet, the slight genetic variation accounts for 1/1000% affecting our appearance, our health, etc. Yet, look how mankind has evolved. Look at the brain, the creativity, the technological advancements. Don't you see the 1000% that makes us unique keeps growing? So, if you compare two people like Darwin did hundreds of years ago, and then compare one of those people with, let's say, you, Nadia, do you see the difference?
Plausible.
Dearest Nadia, picture your mind and how it is contained in your brain. Think of what you can master if the mind is set free for the boundaries of the human skull. Wow.
So as the mind expands, the body does as well?
And will continue to do. Years from now, a 24th set of chromosome markers will emerge.
So according to my notes, as humans emerge over time, someone's DNA is likely to be more advanced than others, thereby skewing results that have been calibrated with basic human genetic mapping. In essence, someone may already have parts of their 24th chromosome marker already forming, thereby nullifying DNA evidence that factors in only 23 chromosome markers. So we cannot know if a person with part or all of a 24th marker, whether it is an X or a Y, is getting current scientific validation.
Genius! I didn't even think of that.
Wow, we should write this up and get it published to get it reviewed by our peers, those that will have an open mind.
Good luck, my dear.
Why? What's wrong?
Do you know what this means? This is why I have stayed quiet all these years. I feared where there's research would lead us to, but you have taken it to the breakthrough level.
But you have to help me write this.
No, I am old. I am happy. This is an incredible cross to bear, young lady. I have felt the guilt of not pursuing this back in the day, but my initial conversations were met with much disdain. But you have your whole life ahead of you, if you are right. I am looking at the future living legend of the human race. Go, Nadia.
I don't know what to say.
Well, I will be listening. Keep in touch. You will become more credible once your findings are endorsed by your peers, and I have a few followers. Send your findings to me, and my group will validate your work, and you be off to a great discovery. God bless you, young lady.
Nadia, I'm Police Chief Doe Sherman. I've been reading on the web some thoughts you may have regarding DNA evidence. If you plan on publishing any type of findings, do you know what your story would do? Have you any idea what it would do? People would be demanding every criminal convicted of DNA to be let go.
I know there are complications, but I don't mean to be your foe, Doe.
Complications? Rapists, murderers, thieves, all set free? Is this what you want? And once this were to happen, all hell would break loose. I seriously think you should go home and spend some time, as much time as you did concocting this theory and thinking about the ramifications.
Thank you, sir. By the way, is your badge made of pewter? It's very impressive.
Are you listening to me, Nadia?
Yes, Chief. I only hope that you listen to me and review my work.
Hattie, get me the governor on the phone. Hello, sir. It's Doe. Regarding that DNA reporter, she makes very valid points. I know, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Bye.
All right, Dr. K. Peer review accepted.
Homeland Security. I'm Desiree Johnson. This is Sting Datola. We're here from Homeland Security.
Wait, your name is Sting?
Yes, it is. Bzzzt.
We'd like a few moments of your time.
Well, frankly, I have some overdue books I need to get back to the library.
Yes, we're aware of that, and we've taken care of the 38-cent fine to the librarian.
What?
We understand you've met with the police captain, who's talked to the governor, and yet you are still hell-bent on publishing your findings that would result in total bedlam for all of humanity.
I'm a woman of science. I haven't made my decision.
This would make the world a very dangerous place. As a matter of fact, right now, it's becoming a dangerous place for you.
What is that supposed to mean?
If your work sees the light of day, prisoners would herald you as a god. Murders would skyrocket, off the charts. Legal systems would have to revisit every case dealing with DNA, sifting through thousands of reams of paper to make the determination whether or not DNA was the sole cause or just a contributing cause for the convictions. Needless to say, a 911 call made by yourself would not get a high priority.
Stop, please leave me alone.
Here's my card. This is how you can reach us in the future. We hope to hear from you.
Thank you for seeing me, Ms. Money.
Call me Mo. Mo Money.
It's Mo Money?
No, Mo Money.
Well, I figured I needed a lawyer after all I've been through. Not only a lawyer, but a priest, rabbi, minister, PR person, friend, and someone to take this weight off my shoulders.
Why, oh why, have you been blessed with this scientific talent?
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, lighten up. Humor is good for the soul. So, if you publish your story and back it up with facts supported by a few peers in the scientific community, what happens?
Law enforcement will vilify me and most likely law-abiding citizens.
And who will be on your side?
A few of my peers and those innocently convicted.
And the law. So, here are my thoughts. Think of people who were imprisoned for decades and later freed after additional evidence was found, correct? That's called justice. Much too late, but in the end, justice triumphed. It's much the same in this situation. You will hold a press conference stating you have breakthrough evidence that DNA evidence is not scientifically the be-all, end-all. You will state leaders in law and enforcement must immediately take responsibility to correct every guilty verdict or at least grant a retrial to all those found guilty solely on flawed scientific research. As mankind has evolved, so has science. Okay, that's my legal talk. In a perfect world, all would agree, but after decades of DNA being a vital tool in defining guilt, you are cavalierly taking DNA and saying, oh, DNA not. But eventually, someone else would likely stumble upon similar findings. So, the sooner the better. Okay, that's my PR spin.
But seriously, the potential for retaliation, if people will be allowed to leave prison, or the fear of the victims' families, not knowing whether they will be getting a visit soon by someone, is deep stuff. Even more to worry about is whether the real killers have been lurking for years and hurting other people. All of these thoughts you will have will border on the unbearable. After we talk to the media, you will likely have to testify to legal folks, law enforcement, and politicians in the courtroom and in Washington. But I would strongly suggest, if you want me or not, you immediately obtain private security. I have a friend, Vlad, who runs a bodyguard business, and I can put you in touch with him.
Well, money is an issue at the moment.
If you go with Vlad, it just goes on my tab.
Trust me, being in debt to Mo Money is the least of your worries. And we will be suing every person who tries to mess with you. GoFundMe, you write a book, endless possibilities. Vlad will be with you every step of the way. No one messes with Nadia Panza unless she wants to be messed with.
I'm not sure Homeland Security sees it that way. As if I don't have enough stress in my life, everyone who is supposed to protect me is against me. Thanks, Ms. Mo. Now I know what you must have feared. I can't do this. I received a threatening letter in the mail.
Miss Nadia, you are a woman of science. You mustn't be deterred. A man or woman of the law can solve the ethical issues of what to do with those incarcerated on faulty findings, and will perhaps provide a breakthrough idea that pertains to the law that equals yours in the field of science.
I never thought of that, but I can only hope. But my life has already been threatened before I've even spoken.
Oh, Nadia, if not you, who? Good night.
Can I speak to Vlad?
Renowned scientist and professor Igor Praskovyak publicly admitted that him and his team have conducted a peer review of astute science protege Nadia Panza and fully plans to testify to law enforcement regarding flawed DNA that at the very least could result in countless retrials for potentially thousands or hundreds of thousands inmates across the country.
He's trying to protect me from the public scrutiny. Egads, Vlad. We're going to pack our things and take a trip tomorrow morning. I think you need to help the professor at this point rather than me. Who is it?
Barry Lester.
Come on in.
Nadia, listen. I have this hot news that I just posted, but I thought you should know. Professor K has been taken to the hospital in critical condition. His house was broken into. Apparently, he was brutally beaten.
Wait, what? Oh dear God!
A cop I know gave me a tip, and since I was in the area, I thought I would come by and let you know. It's about to break any minute. I'm really sorry about this, Nadia. I'll make sure that the cops get to the bottom of this.
This can't be happening.
In the news, Professor Igor Kraskowiak is in critical condition after a home invasion last night. According to Moseyville Police Chief Doe Sherman, Kraskowiak suffered multiple injuries and head trauma during the incident. We are about to show you exclusive graphic footage of Dr. Kraskowiak being carried away. Again, the video here is graphic.
Nadia, my gut told me deep down inside you were onto something after talking to Barry and Professor Igor. I'm putting my neck on the line even being here, but I'll let Mo Money explain.
Okay, so the bottom line is the only way to prevail in the court of the law is you have to swing the sympathy vote over to your side. So I called Lauren the lawyer and devised a scheme.
We reached out to Dr. K after he went public with his findings and simply staged this traumatic event. Chief Sherman and Barry had a contact at the news station to immediately take Barry's story and make it appear as if Dr. K may not even survive. Brilliant idea.
Hi Nadia, sorry to make you worry.
Igor, you're wound-free.
It's just all fake makeup. After 2 weeks of hiding, I will be sporting a slightly bruised appearance as though to make it look like I am recovering.
We are publicly stating for Dr. K's protection that we are not divulging where he's being treated.
And looking at the polling numbers in the last 24 hours, the majority of Americans are now saying you and the professor should be granted the opportunity to present their findings without threats, fears, or retributions.
There are tremendous hurdles ahead of us, but at least your voice will be heard for those who possibly have been wronged.
But what if we got it all wrong?
We already petitioned the governor and expect blanket clemency to all people convicted or wronged by supposed DNA evidence. This will likely be challenged by the Supreme Court, but I guarantee you every state will take similar action.
Legal experts speculate eventually the Supreme Court would have to rule on the outcome of Nadia Panza's DNA findings, if these findings are indeed validated.
Yay! Huh. Wait. What's this? Nadia?
Dear Nadia, why are you not stopping?
Wait, who else knew we were going to be here?
I thought we agreed this was a secret conclave. I had my eyes on Stanley, the social media pest, all day, and he hasn't gone anywhere.
Someone in here is lying or was overheard talking.
So who can I trust? Threats are coming in and I can't even trust someone in here? I can't take this anymore.
But Nadia, what is that? Huh? Ambulance!
No, we can't call an ambulance. Our ruse will be exposed. No, do something.
Detective, I need a bus. ASAP. We can't call 911 because we have to stay off the grid. No lights, no markings. I'll explain later. Just get here fast. Nadia is unconscious. You can take off now.
I knew it would come down to this. I'm so glad I left town. Yes, I did it. I was right all along. I'm sorry, Dr. K. I just couldn't do it. I'm so sorry.
And make it appear as if Dr. K may not even survive.
brilliant idea.
Yes, Lauren, it was a brilliant idea.